Shit, there we go. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight for anyone that might tune in? Hope everybody had a good Saturday anyway, for anyone that might see this. I'm coming on only for a few minutes because Bill Wooldridge, the one known as Bill Wooldridge, Bill Cooldridge, Bill Delarosable, Stephen Maven, or Mavis, Robert Cross, James Bubbles, Harry Potter, the one that thinks that he is me, thinks that we were switched at birth, thinks that he is my dad, and was calling my mother Mom. You are guilty of killing my mother. You are guilty of attempted murder on me with intent to commit sex slave trafficking, fucking piece of shit. Homosexual, delusional garbage is what he is. He's approximately 70 years old. He's a sex slave trafficker and a fucking pedophile heroin addict. He is a serial killer, and he is working with him for O.p.p, ex-chief or commander, stalking your kids in Napanee. He was at Tim Hortons daily for sex slavery traffic to fuck these children. There is Blair Frederick Hardy. He is guilty of brain injuring. He is guilty of body mutilations. He is guilty of rapes. He is guilty of financial thefts and frauds. He is guilty of drug trafficking. He is guilty of welfare, disability, and old age pension frauds. He's guilty of forgeries. He is guilty of stalking. He is guilty of being involved with the one known as Bill Wooldridge and murdering my mother. He is guilty of attempted murder on me. He is a meth trafficker, and the two of them are the boss to O.p.p cops in Napanee. Human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, injuring, torturing, identity thefts, frauds, and homicides that are being fucking criminally covered up through Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, through Stacy, a mental health worker, and her girlfriend, Dr. Margie V, aka Tatiana V. She is a name and file falsifier, a very dangerous person. She is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit and cover up, along with Wayne Coveyduck, ex-CEO of Lennox and Addington Hospital, along with patient relations Aaron Brown, who had me falsely charged in an attempt to give me a criminal record in an attempt to get away with the crimes that she, the hospital, and doctors are criminally guilty of with and for O.p.p. There is Dr. Joy Hadley, there is Dr. Barton, there's Dr. Pritchard, there's Dr. Waldron, there's Dr. McGregor, there is once again, Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V, the name and file falsifier, the one that had me medically blacklisted, and the one that gave me false CAT scans results that wouldn't give me my original ones, who then in turn gave to Stacy and her girlfriend, AMHS, and Spencer Mills, O.p.p 14716 in November 2019. Shot, kidnapped, sex assaulted, falsely arrested twice for pictures, prints, signatures, and everything else needed for O.p.p, framing forgeries and frauds against me. I am a revenge, retaliation, lobotomized, full physical fucking skull split, skull deforming, lung and kidney damage, medically blacklisted, attempted murder, slave trafficking, revenge, retaliation, identity theft victim with the intent to frame either or slave traffic again, which I was for a full year, or with the intent to commit murder. As it stands right now, those are guilty of attempted murder and are very seriously dangerous. Ontario Provincial Police, Spencer Mills 14716. Robert Kane7224. He is a drug cop, and he is the reason why all of these little bastards who work with him for him, their accomplices, are working with him for him, getting free drugs through him. There is the ex-chief or commander, again, year 2019, staff sergeants, years 2019, 2021, kidnapping and sodomy, sex assault. Shannon Cork, Dave Weiss, Robert Lucas, who told me he could fuck me, could kill me, could get away with it, Money Badge Family Town Council. There is Stacy once again, the mental health worker that was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS. And Shelley Huffner had me kidnapped May 27, 2021, 24 hours after me asking for help with what has taken place with me. That was done in an attempt to shut me up through false pretenses with a Judge Chappelle from Kingston, Ontario, done under false bullshit incompetency, where they got my blood and my piss and turned around and left after they found out what they'd done to me 24 hours after me asking for help. It was with intent. The medical blacklisting, the injuring, the torturing, the deforming, the mutilations, all showing proof and not being able to do a damn thing about it. Time is bought, damage is done. Ones that are guilty of murder, attempted murders with and for Ontario provincial police, ones that are sex slave traffickers, ones that are sex offenders, ones that are selling fentanyl to cause overdoses to look like it's just another addict got bad drugs and died from it. No, it's being done with intent through one Jason Gimpy two-step Vanalstine, who is guilty of identity theft. He is a homosexual crackhead. He is a stalker, inbred, low-life piece of shit. He's guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity and insurance fraud against me. He's guilty of brain injuring me, and he's guilty of attempted murder. Tyler T. Bag Lake, he is guilty of torturing and killing my dog Runt in 2023. He is guilty of drug trafficking, Robert Kane's little bastard. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. These are the Hardy Boys gang of Napanee is what they are called. There is one Bert the Hitman Hustler. He is a alleged NHL hockey player for the Philadelphia Flyers and Hartford Whalers. He is guilty of sex slave. He's a sex slave trafficker. He is guilty of attempted murder. He is guilty of torture with intent to commit. Robert Berry, he is guilty of sex assault. He is guilty of attempted murder. He is a sex slave trafficker, a trucker, and a possible serial killer, him and his boyfriend Robert. There is one Raymond LeBlanc. He is a child groomer. He is a criminal stalker. He is a meth trafficker. He is guilty of torturing. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog Runt in March of 2023 with Tyler Lake, and guilty of attempted murder on me. Dale Hartwick, who is guilty of attempted murder with the intent to commit for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife's boyfriend. He is now a rat informant. There is his boyfriend, or his Uncle Harry, who is also involved, who is a child groomer, who is guilty, who is a child abuser, who is guilty of sex assault and attempted murder. Dale Hartwick's boyfriend, Anthony Tony Axel Rose Hearns, who is guilty of attempted paralyzing me. He is guilty of sex assaults. He allegedly is in love with a wolfie that he wants to suck off, apparently. Whatever that's supposed to mean. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit, aiding his boyfriend, Dale Hartwick. These are all O.p.p. drug-fed, money-paid pieces of shit. When people disappear in Napanee, it is the Hartwicks, it is the Hearns, it is the LeBlanc, it is Vanalstine, it is Lake, it is Hustler, it is Barry, it's his boyfriend Robert, it is Tyler T. Baglake, it is Vanalstine, it is the one known as Bill Woldridge that lives at 149 Center Street North, and it is Blair Frederick the Gerbler Hardy, homosexual piece of shit garbage. He is also involved and guilty of raping a woman who is now deceased. Her last name was Jocko. He done it at 45 Dundas Street, apartment 3, 2021. It happened. He is guilty of attempted murder, multiple murders. He has alleged meth lab in Tweed, Ontario, the one known as Bill Woldridge with all the fucking alias names. Also, one of the names he uses is Stephen Maven or Mavis, who is a wanna escapee inmate walkaway. And that's one of the alias names that this piece of shit uses as well. He is approximately 60 to 65, maybe more, bald, glasses, highly psychotic, highly delusional. He likes to give blowjobs to teenage kids in his driveway, which I have seen, but I had died before I could do anything about it. So yes, he performs oral sex on teenage kids on Center Street. I have been through full physical identity theft and changes, and as it stands right now, because of the injuring to my brain, to my body, and me not being able to get any help through medical blacklisting, through the lies, the time buying, well, time is fucking bought. O.p.p, now you are officially guilty of attempted murder on the entire Wood bloodline by doing this to me. You are fucking terrorists, low-life sex offenders, sex slavery, trafficking, murdering, human trafficking, child fucking, identity thieves, and killer pieces of shit with your low-life bastards and good-for-nothing ex-inmates, sex offenders, and junky pieces of shit who you cannot and will not touch because you are owned through them. This is why they are extorting $22,000 from me. I have been surrounded, hands on guns through O.p.p. I have been falsely arrested, so beware of this. They are falsely arresting their victims to be above suspicion of the crimes that they are committing, and also in an attempt to criminalize innocent people to get their pictures, prints, signatures, and everything else they need against their victims for forgeries, framings, and frauds. Everybody and anybody that's ever been charged through Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, I would seriously fight it in every way, especially if you were ever charged by one of the cops named, because it was most likely illegally done. Whether they are in Napanee or not, or have transferred, they are still guilty of murders, attempted murders. And if they had transferred, it was only done in an attempt to get away with, in an attempt to get out of arresting and charging and criminal civil lawsuits against them and criminal civil lawsuits against the O.p.p themselves. As it stands right now, one way or another, I will get lawyers, and I am going to sue the ass off Lennox and Addington County General Hospital. And one way or another, I am going to get one Dr. Tatiana V., a.k.a. Margie V., criminally charged and prosecuted for attempted murder with intent to commit, because she is very fucking seriously dangerous and deserves to be in prison with the Hawkesbury doctor, along with her girlfriend Stacy, who is now Kingston AMHS. She's a human trafficker. She left in an attempt to further distance herself, in an attempt to deniability of her involvement in her crimes, because this has been going on with me for 5 years. And the reason it happened was because of me speaking of the O.p.p crimes, the human trafficking, and homeless exploitation for monetary gain through the Morning Star mission, and the possible money laundering through them. So don't ever speak police crimes in Napanee, and if Spencer Mills ever shows up at your door, there will be homicides, and there will be nothing you can do. Your family will be assassinated one by one, while they have it covered up through their good old Lennox and Addington County General Hospital doctors, who are more than willing to do it against O.p.p victims, against Blair Hardy's victims, against Dale Hartwick's victims, and the rest of the pieces of shit named, because they are all together, organized, washing each other's hands and covering each other's crimes. So poor, homeless, they are causing homelessness as well, along with the hospital, and kicking victims out of Napanee to Kingston or wherever where they can be trafficked. It happened to me. Wayne Cubby Duck having me illegally, falsely kicked out of the hospital, causing me serious lung damage, and then having me fucking falsely charged to prevent anything legal on him or his hospital or a doctor while they were waiting on getting funding, $360 million or whatever the fuck it was that hospital received. And that's the reason it was done, so it wouldn't get out of the crimes that they are guilty of, and not having to prove anything because of who they are and their money. But as it stands, one way or another, because I have proven and I have shown my identity theft and the very, very serious the damages done to me and the deforming, not only am I going to sue Dr. Margie V, I'm going to see her in prison one way or another, and I'm also going to sue other doctors and the entire fucking hospital for criminal, medical, negligence with intent to injure, torture, and commit murder, and have it covered up with criminal negligence and intent through Ontario Provincial Police and their fucking lies against me to get this done. Public beware in Napanee. Don't ever speak O.p.p. crimes. You have no rights. Your legal rights, your medical rights, and your human rights will be taken while they get away with whatever plan they have. How too convenient. I now show red fucking hair. I've never had red hair in my life, and the ones that have red hair doing this to me is too convenient. One Jason Gimpy fucking two-step Vanalstine. There is also another guy here in Desrano, close by to where I live. His initials are CB. He's a hermaphrodite, or it's a hermaphrodite, and also uses R&M on me as well, because that is being what is used on me, what is remote neural monitoring, and that is what I was shot with by the O.p.p chief in 2019, which also enables invasive surveillance and destruction of a person's central nervous system and shutdown of their body. And because of the high EMFs and radiation, it also causes cancers in their victims, which is exactly what was done with my mother, which was exactly what was done with an Anson. That's exactly what was done to my dog while they were being tortured and killed through these pieces of shit, all with criminal intent, so they could sit back like Pontius Pilate and try to claim, wasn't me, but yes, it fucking well was. Jason Gimpy two-step Vanalstine, you fucking delusional piece of shit crackhead. You're most likely sitting at 1 Robert Barry's on Bridge Street, or you were at Ray LeBlow's, or you were at 34 Water Street. But either way, I'm gonna find out where the fuck you are, and I am gonna have you locked up for the rest of your life. And I do not care if you suck O.p.p dick or not, if you are their number one accomplice. I don't give a fuck who and what you are to the cops in Napanee. You are gonna answer for what you done to me, you gimp fucking crackhead, good for nothing, inbred piece of shit. I didn't come on here to name call or anything, but look what the fuck you did. Look what the fuck you got away with to me, including Tyler Teabag Lake, me being 52 years old, and that little cocksucking bastard is only approximately 30, along with Gimpy Two-Step, who is only approximately 40, maybe 45, I don't know. And then Blair Frederick Hardy, anybody who buys crack, meth, fentanyl, or any of those kind of drugs in Napanee from Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, or any of the rest of them on 34 Water Street, you are buying your drugs from O.p.p, whether you fucking realize it or not. They are all rat informants. And this is another why they get highly fucking paid, and why they are highly untouchable without $22,000 to do it. But then again, the cops themselves needs arresting and charging as well. I'm being turned into a fucking vegetable. This has been my life, going through this 24/7. They even watch me fucking sleep. This is the kind of sick pieces of shit that they are, taking turns while they are getting free drugs delivered to them through Robert Kane and O.p.p, Well, they are fucking high and they are using this R&M on me and completely deforming me and mutilating me and getting away with it. No matter how much you can prove in Napanee, it will do no fucking good. No good. Trust me. When these pieces of shit want to kill somebody, they have it. They have them killed. And that's a fact. Dale Hartwick is also guilty of sex assault in Winnipeg, Manitoba on me. He's also guilty of murdering somebody in Winnipeg, Manitoba as well. His uncle Harry is guilty of attempted murder. He's guilty of abuse. He's guilty of sex assaults. He is guilty of when I was a child. He's guilty of pulling my pants down and sex assaulting me and then putting duct tape on my pecker because I would not eat a pickled egg or a pickled onion, and it made me stand in the corner for 4 hours. This is the kind of fucking garbage that's now doing this to me with and for the cops. Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, I am not your fucking one that you love. I am not your wolfie, and I don't care who you fucking a wolfie that you love, and you're not gonna suck my dick. You've already tried to sex assault me, you fucking pig pervert. You've already tried to attempt at fucking paralyzing me. You're lucky that I haven't been able to get to a fucking hospital prior to now, or that I haven't been able to go to a hospital at all. And you pieces of shit know it because I cannot get any help in Kingston, I cannot get any help in Belleville, and I cannot get any help in Napanee. Dr. Margie V assured that through my falsified file. As a matter of fact, I had not had any association with any cops or anyone named prior to being shot in August of 2019. I had not even been to a hospital or a doctor in approximately 7 to 10 years prior to being shot. So, and then all of a sudden they get this fucking big long psychological file on me with all this other bullshit and criminal and drugs that it's true, it's certainly not true. So public beware. They're casting lies against their victims about being suicidal, self-harm, or drug addicts, so when they're injuring, torturing them, and they're murdering them and slave trafficking them and they're disappearing, they can have it covered up as just those, as possible suicide or a possible drug overdose, whether it is true or not. And this is how they're getting away with murdering victims. And good old Dr. Tatiana V gladly covers their crimes up. Even Dr. Pritchard and Barton laughing in my face over being sodomy sex assaulted through Staff Sergeant and the one known as Bill Woldridge in 2019, laughing in my fucking face thinking that it was a big joke and then trying to have me committed for it. And then the Justice of the Peace trying to accuse me of being high on marijuana and fucking hallucinating it. And to this day, I still have problems from that happening to me. I am not gonna fucking hide the fact that that crime happened to me regardless whether I'm a man or not, because you are fucking pieces of shit. You deserve... It deserves to be known that, yeah, you do fucking sex assault men. And then you have a lot of people to cover up their crimes in Napanee for them. I don't know if any of these are being seen or not, because a lot of my stuff is being hacked by Bill Woldridge and the rest of these bastards who are also having my stuff shadow banned, had me kicked off of my TikTok for showing pictures of my tattoos, which would prove my identity from then till now, from the identity theft and changes I've been through. So these little bastards, in an attempt to try to fucking block everything that I've been doing on all platforms, is trying to get me blocked. It's been hacked. My Facebook, TikTok, and the rest of them have all been fucking hacked as well, to stop me from getting a lot of stuff out. So I hope this is being seen, and I hope it gets shared, and I hope it's taken very serious. Once again, one known as Bill Woldridge, 149 Center Street, North Napanee, you are guilty of murdering my mother. You're guilty of attempted murder on me with intent to commit. Blair Frederick Hardy, you're guilty of attempted murder. Bert the Hitman Hustler is guilty of attempted murder. Robert Berry and his boyfriend Robert are guilty of attempted murder. Jason Gimpy Two-Step Vanalstine is guilty of attempted murder, identity theft. Tyler Teabag Lake's guilty of killing my dog and attempted murder. Raymond LeBlow is guilty of killing my dog and attempted murder. Bert the Hitman Hustler is guilty of torturing and attempted murder. Dale Hartwick guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit for drop charges. Rat informant. And his boyfriend, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, is guilty of attempted murder with him for O.p.p. Public beware.